Hey, power babes and power men, or male babes, as one of my male friends called himself when he attended some of my programs. So, how is everyone on this fantastic Thursday? Yes, it is Thursday. I'm here for my usual weekly trainings on my Be That Woman series. I know it hasn't been announced for some reason. It didn't get saved to Facebook when the event was created. But that's also the amazing part, right? That the trainings, even though the event didn't get created, they stay and you can catch up and watch them anytime. So tell me what's been happening with everyone. What have all of you been up to? How has your week been? Have you used any of the Monday motivation or the magic Monday methods that I've been sharing, to keep your week more productive, more fulfilling, more satisfactory, less stressful, all of that kind of stuff? Right. Okay. So, in a way, I was just thinking that the event did get saved, but in a way, it turned out to be a good thing because something popped up in my head earlier today. And I really, really, really wanted to come and share and talk about it and train all of you on it. But before I do that, I think I've seen a few new members joining our group. So I want to give them a big, big welcome. Whoever you are, please do introduce yourself and connect with the community, because if we don't know you, then we can't connect. We need to know you. We need to know who you are, where you're from, what you do, what brought you here, all of that kind of stuff, right? That's how we engage with everybody. And that's what makes women sort of work in a better way. All right. So today's topic is why a woman needs to thrive. Okay, why should a woman thrive? And it's not something that's part of my plan of the training series that I do, but as I said, it came up in my head, and it came up through a very random conversation that happened. And I'll give you the reference so that you have an understanding. Now, early January, I ended up getting COVID. I tested positive sometime in the second week of January, not early Jan, second week of Jan, yeah. And it was a bit ironic because I traveled to India right in the midst of the whole Omicron madness that was going on. I needed to travel. I was there. I had to be there. And I came back and everything was really smooth flowing. Thankfully, we didn't pick up anything. My son and I were absolutely healthy, fine, all of that. And when we came back to the UK, everything was still fine. We were fine. And I was really happy that whatever we had been doing for the last 2 years, ever since the pandemic broke out, that our immunity levels were good. Okay. And then all of a sudden, boom, I just end up testing positive. Maybe I picked something up from somewhere and whatever, right? So now the family, my extended family, like the in-laws and everybody, they live, in India. And my mother-in-law called me when she found out. My husband had told them that I tested positive. So my mother-in-law called me, and she was very obviously concerned about my health. But she also said something to me, which I thought was a huge, huge eye opener. She said, and she said it in Hindi, but I'm going to say it in English because I know it's neutral for all of you who are here. She said, बेटे देखो, ध्यान रखना अपना, और जब जब औरत ठीक नहीं रहती तो घर ठीक नहीं रहता. Okay, and what she said is, when the woman is unwell, the home is unwell. Okay, that's what she said in Hindi. When the woman is unwell and the home is unwell. And obviously she meant it well from the point of that, the woman is the pivot of the home, from the point of, how the home runs, how everybody in the family feels, etc. Because whether we realize it or not, whether we accept it or not, or whether we go by social conditioning or not, the fact of the matter is that a woman in the human sense. And if I talk about the spiritual sense, the female divine energy is actually the center of the creative space, of the nurturing space, or, it's the woman who creates and nurtures, whether it's in the home or whether it's in the universe. Okay? Whether it's in humans or whether it's in animals, whether it's in reptiles, whether it's in birds, it is the female of the species that is responsible for the caring and the nurturing. Okay? And when that doesn't happen, then the rest of the system also gets negatively affected or suffers, depending on where, what is the level of challenges that the woman is facing or the female is facing. Let's say female, okay? So it got me thinking as to, oh my God, that's like, such a revelationary thought, because I wanted to stretch it to the other end, okay? So rather than talking about when a woman is sick, the house is sick, or when a woman is suffering, the house is suffering, or whatever else, I looked at it from the other end of the spectrum. What happens when a woman thrives? So we know what happens when a woman is not well. But what happens when a woman thrives? And if you are watching this live, I want you to answer it. What do you think will happen? What might actually be amazing when you, or the woman in your life, if you're a man who's in this group and watching this, what will happen when a woman thrives? And it's really, really important to recognize this, because the fact of the matter is that when a woman thrives, when a woman prospers in different ways, okay? And I know prosperity, success, thriving means different things to different people, right? So when a woman prospers, the whole system prospers. The home prospers, the community prospers, the society prospers, the city, the country, the whole world prospers, if you had to expand it. And that's a fact, okay? Because when a woman is in a state of prospering, in a state of thriving, there is a natural domino effect on the creation. There's a natural domino effect on the nurturing. There's a natural domino effect on the empowering, okay? So why is it important that you thrive? It's important that you thrive so that the people who rely on you have a solid, not just a support, but a solid example to go by. It's important for you to thrive so that you have the energy, you have the capacity, you have the ability to be able to do all that you need to do for that system of yours, for your world. Okay, I'm not talking about the world. So I'm talking about your world. Now, your world may be just your home. Your world may be home plus your job. Your world may be your home plus your job plus maybe your parents. Your world could also be your home plus your job plus your parents plus, friends. Whatever it is that your world is, it's extremely important for you to thrive. Okay? Because you do not know consciously or physically, it's impossible to keep aware of every touch point. Okay, you do not know consciously where that is going to impact and who it's going to impact and change, help, prosper, whatever it is. Okay, now a woman needs to thrive in various aspects. Okay, firstly, and I'm not talking about money front. I'm not talking money right now. I'm talking about firstly, a woman needs to have a thriving physical health. No matter what your age, you can be 80, you can be 20, or you can be 15. I don't care. I'm saying 20 because generally that's the stage at which girl turns into a woman, right? So I'm saying whether you're 20 or you're 80, it's important that you thrive in your health, first and foremost. Because if you're not healthy, right, physically healthy, then it's impossible for you to do the things that you need to do. As simple as that. So again, if we're talking about your home, if you're not healthy, it's impossible for you to look after your home, to feed your children, at least not in the level that you want to do, right? So if you're not healthy, and I'm giving you a stupid example, if you're healthy, you're going to make a nice full-on meal for your family. If you're not healthy, you're physically unwell, right? Then you're going to end up, maybe ordering in from outside or doing takeaways or Swiggies or Zomatos and, Deliveroos and Just Eats of the world, right? And you're going to end up relying on that. Now, we all know what the quality of food is, right? So when you're physically healthy, you can look after your family. When you're physically not healthy, you're going to end up relying on stuff that is not healthy for anybody, or you're going to end up relying on other people for help, which may not always be consistent. There are people to help you, but it may not always be consistent, right? So that is the main thing. And you'll end up wasting your money on outside food. So when you're physically healthy, you can look after your family, whether it's you cooking for them, whether it's you helping your kids with their studies, whether it's you helping your kids with their love life, or whether whatever it is that you need to help your kids with when you're healthy. Now, why is it important for you to thrive emotionally and mentally? Because when you're thriving emotionally, you are in a good state of mind. When you're in a good state of mind, all the things that you want to do, you'll do them even better. You'll do all of them and you'll do them really well when you're in a good state of mind. Okay? So why is it important for you to thrive? So we're talking about physically, mentally, emotionally, and maybe if you are in your career space, why is it important for you to thrive financially? Now, you may say that, no, I'm very comfortable in life. I've got everything, and that's absolutely good. That's fantastic, right? So why is it important for you to thrive financially? And by that, I'm not talking about whether you earn millions of dollars or pounds or euros or rupees or whatever, but you could be earning a few thousands. Yeah. But it's important for you to thrive in whatever it is you're earning. Even if you're using that money just to look after yourself and just, even if that money is just enough for you to have your regular salon visits or your haircuts or your, whatever facials or whatever it is. Okay. Even if it's just that, because you say, no, my husband looks after everything, or my parents look after me financially or whatever, I don't need to earn to support myself. Okay. But it's important for you to create a little bit of financial independence for yourself, just for you to have that extra self-confidence to be able to thrive. Okay. But our programs are not about how you're going to create financial independence for yourself. My whole focus is why you need to thrive. Okay. Now, the common areas where people struggle is around their health, whether it's their mental or their emotional or their physical health, or it could be around challenges in relationships with people at home, with people at work. Okay, those are the common things, and those are the things that sort of get you down, that create that feeling of ill health. Yeah. So those are the things that you need to start working towards and start getting rid of what is not required and start adding in what is required for you. Okay. So if it's relationship issues, we're not talking about get rid of the relationships. We're talking about adding what is required to make them work. Okay. So if it is health issues, again, yes, in your health wise, you may say, okay, I need to get rid of certain foods in my diet and maybe add a different thing in my diet so that I feel more energetic. I had to do that. Last year, I went through this whole massive detox health wise, eating wise. And it took a while. It took consistent effort and guidance with an expert to help me to feel that way. It took a while. Okay. But the point is, if I didn't do that, I was feeling much worse, much, much worse. So the effort towards the result that I wanted was a lot, but at an emotional level, I was feeling fine. I wasn't suffering or struggling with the effort. It was new, it was different things to do to keep myself healthy. But the feeling of the ill health was much worse, right? Because emotionally it gets you down, right? So the point I'm trying to make here is it's important for you to focus on thriving, for you to focus on prospering, for you to deal with the challenges if you're experiencing them. And at the same time, also have a certain vision for how you want to be in your life or who you want to be. And I'm 100% sure that when I ask you for that vision of, if you think about who is the kind of person you want to be or what kind of person do you want to be, you already have that vision. And that vision is definitely not of a woman or a man who is in a shit state. Sorry to use the word if I've offended anybody, but that's just how it comes out. Okay? It is a vision of somebody who's doing really well, right? Who is really happy, who's really healthy, who's really confident, who's really feeling, amazing in their life. And when she or he is feeling amazing, then the family is also obviously getting the benefit of that. Am I right? Okay. How many of you, is anybody here who has attended my 5-day Become Emotionally Fit in 5 Days program? That's not running at the moment, but if any of you have attended it, let me know that after you finish that 5-day program, what did your family say about you? I want to know, what did your family say about you? How did you feel in yourself? Okay. Because there were many, many participants who came to that program. Many of them came and said the same thing to me. They used to keep sending me private messages on my WhatsApp and my, Messenger and everything, saying that I don't know what this program is, but everyone in my family is saying that I'm a lot calmer. I'm a lot, I'm less reactive. I'm talking nicely. I'm smiling more. I'm loving more, all of that kind of stuff. Yeah. So the point is that until we deal with it, we're not going to be able to thrive. All right. So the nonsense has to be dealt with, but also that vision has to be there at the same time. The vision of who you want to be, how you want to be in your life, and how you want the people in your home to talk about you. How do you want your children to talk to you, talk about you? How do you want your husband to see you? How do you want your parents to see you? How do you want your brother, sister, whoever it is, or your colleagues, whatever it is, how do you want them to come across? Or how do you want to come across to them? So both have to be worked with at the same time. And while in our heads, it sounds it may feel like, oh my God, there's too much to do. It's actually pretty straightforward. You just have to adopt the right actions. Okay. And that's the point of today's training. It's really about why it is essential for a woman to thrive. It is 100%. If the woman doesn't thrive, nothing thrives. And that's a fact. Okay. And I want to leave you with that message. I'm going to reiterate it and I'm going to recite it and I'm going to bore you to death with it. But the fact is, you need to thrive so that everybody around you thrives, so that your system, your world thrives. Okay. And if you have any questions about this, post them in the comment. Tell me the areas in which you want to thrive. Okay. There will always be it cannot be possible that you're not thriving in everything. There'll be some things that you're fine with. There are some things that you need work with. Okay. So what are the areas in which you want to thrive, that you need to thrive, or areas that you need to work with? And I will come back to you in how best I can help you with that. Deal? Okay. So take care, everybody. Have a wonderful Thursday, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.